Past eight.
Focus.
Yes, I am focused, actually. Donald Trump has been charged with new criminal offences in relation to his efforts to overturn the 2020 US election. I think I need to compose myself a bit more, actually, because I'm going to get the giggles, and I apologise for that. It's not funny. The former president, who is planning to run for the White House again, is accused of 4 counts, including conspiracy to defraud the US, tampering with a witness, and conspiracy against the rights of citizens. He's already facing some other legal issues. Here's our North America correspondent, Sean Dilley.
The other cases relate to, for instance, in Florida, another federal case, all to do with classified documents. He goes on trial for that one next May. There's an unrelated case, which is a state case out of New York, which relates to monies paid to an adult film star and how that was accounted for. This one's pretty significant because although Donald Trump hasn't been charged with any of the offences directly relating to the violence around January the 6th, 2021, off the back of the election, Jack Smith, the special prosecutor, did very directly refer to that January the 6th, didn't he? And obviously the charges are in and around disrupting proceedings as well as election charges as well.
Donald Trump denies the allegations, and on social media he called the case ridiculous. Let's speak to Erol Morkoc from Republicans Overseas UK. Morning, Erol. What's your reaction to these latest allegations and charges?
Well, good morning. And my reaction, echoes the president. We see these as frivolous, trumped-up charges. However, it's a directed, coordinated game theory attack. It's not that Donald Trump is going to be hurt by this in his own party. Actually, quite to the contrary. This is only, as they always say, galvanizing his base. But it's also bringing, Republicans who had turned against him back into the fold. And this is all part of a double-edged strategy to make sure that Trump is the nominee, which the Democrat Party needs because they believe in a general election, and a lot of game theory strategists would agree, that he is a much more beatable candidate than Mr. Ron DeSantis. So you have a situation here where, this goes back into history from Caesar and Pompey all the way down to, different leaders, Hitler and Thälmann, people who are prosecuting their political opponents. And that's certainly nothing that anybody wants to see in the country. I have friends who are Democrats who hate Donald Trump.
But you're saying you're saying that these Democrats are prosecuting Donald Trump in order to guarantee that not to hurt him, but to make sure that he gets a Republican nomination.
Correct, and with the hope that they can also hurt him. So the way that it's being organized is the objective is to have as many indictments as possible against Mr. Trump. So a moderate, middle of the road voter is going to say, "Hey, man, I don't know what's going on. I'm too busy. There's a recession. I've got a lot of problems. This guy seems like he's too much baggage." And on the flip side, they are hoping, of course, that they could get convictions and lock him up in a in a certain way. But their objective here is to make sure he is the nominee. And every indictment, you can go back and look. Every time he's been indicted, his poll numbers have gone up to the point now where he's undisputably going to be the nominee. So it's a great strategy. These are, again, just for your listeners to really understand, these are accusations. They're not convictions.
Yeah.
To get these convictions is going to be highly unlikely, highly irregular. Keep in mind, Hillary Clinton was the first losing presidential candidate to join the resistance. Her backers, John Podesta and whatnot, they asked for the electors to do what Trump asked for Mike Pence. And also, people do have a First Amendment right for free speech, which the president also has. So you're in a situation where you've got declassified documents, this and that. It's all political gamesmanship, and the American people might be able to see through it. Potentially. We'll see.
If any of these charges are proven, though, would that change your opinion of Trump?
Well, proven is going to be, unfortunately, an interesting term. Where the trials are held are going to really define it, because a jury of your peers, for example, in Manhattan, isn't a jury of his peers. It's 90% of people who would shoot him if they could, and a jury of his peers in Florida are not going to convict him of anything. So you have a fractured banana republic DOJ that's been weaponized, and that's something that even if you were to get a conviction on any of this, myself and most of the Republican supporters would see it as a fraudulent conviction. We do not think that the charges leveled against him have any merit whatsoever.
Is there anywhere that he could get a fair trial, do you think, in America?
A fair trial, that's a really great question.
Because you'd hope that there was.
Well, a fair trial would imply that there's a purple state, maybe Virginia. Perhaps in parts of Virginia, a state that goes back and forth would be the only thing. But that's not how it works, right? So would he get a fair trial by his peers in Texas and Florida? We think so. Would he get a fair trial in New York and California? We don't think so. So it's a system of states, United States of America. We have an electoral college system, not a, childish, everybody put a pebble in a pot democracy. So fair trial is a loaded question because of how
felt like a dig at
weaponized
us
the
there,
DOJ
but
has
okay, yeah.
become.
Thanks very much, Errol. That's Erol Morkoc from Republicans Overseas UK. It's just come up to 8:15.